Hello viewers, today I'm going to tell you the lore behind the fall of Elysia in Warhammer universe. In the dim light of the late afternoon, the realm of Elysia basked in a whispered serenity. The Eldar, graceful and sleek in their craftsmanship, had fashioned this verdant world into a haven among the stars. Towering spires adorned with shimmering runes pierced the sky, reflecting the ethereal glow of distant galaxies. Life flourished in spectacular fashion, but beneath the tranquil surface discontent brewed. Malfarion, a powerful Farseer, rose to prominence within the ruling council of Elysia. He was known for his prescient visions, which often guided the Eldars' complicated navigations through the tides of fate. Yet his growing influence began to distort the balance within the council. Instead of unity, Malfarion's council began to sow seeds of discord. His prophecies hinted at an impending doom, a shadow growing in the void, but rather than rallying his kin, he spoke in ways that suggested betrayal was the only path forward. The other members of the council remained wary of his ambitious ascent. They knew the ancient wisdom of Eldar lore. The whisperings of chaos could twist even the noblest of hearts. In private chambers, they debated the increasing dread radiating from Malfarion. Distrust spread through the council like wildfire. The schism. The breaking point came during a fateful gathering. As tensions reached their zenith, accusations flew around the council hall. Old friends turned adversaries, their voices raised in anger. In a moment of emotional upheaval, Malfarion unveiled a dreadful prophecy. He declared that the only way to save Elysia lay in an alliance with the ruinous powers, the dark gods that had once been the bane of all Eldar. The council erupted in chaos. Factions formed, some siding with Malfarion's vision of strength through chaos, while others vowed to uphold the ancient traditions. Splintered the Eldar no longer, fought for the same cause. Civil war became inevitable, and the verdant fields of Elysia turned into battle-scarred land. The civil war, as the skies darkened with storm clouds, the Eldar began to clash. Battalions of warriors, once bound by kinship and honour, took up arms against one another. The air crackled with psychic energies as the seers wielded their powers against their former brothers and sisters. Malfarion, commanding a faction called the Corsairs, unleashed devastating psychic storms that tore through the skies. Key battles erupted across the land, each marked by tragic losses. The city of Verdance fell first, aflame with betrayal and fury. Former allies now faced off in brutal skirmishes. The cries of fallen friends resonated through the night, their souls lost to the void, feeding the growing shadow that had gripped Elysia. As the conflict raged, the very fabric of reality began to unravel. With every life taken, the influence of chaos grew, worming its way into the hearts of those caught in the bloodshed. The skies turned crimson, and creatures of nightmare slipped through the cracks of reality, horrors summoned by the despair that enveloped the Eldar. In the final battle for the central spire, the Eldar found themselves facing not just their kin, but also the very horrors they had once kept at bay. Malfarion's forces, driven by madness, unleashed demonic entities upon their adversaries. The Elder soldiers fought valiantly, but the tide had turned against them. The war tore through Elysia like a storm, leaving only ruins and echoes of loss. What had once been a land of beauty and harmony became a desolate wasteland, a tragic reflection of the discord that had consumed its people. Those few Eldar who survived wandered among the ruins, forever haunted by the betrayal of kin and the whispers of chaos that lingered. In the aftermath, Elysia became a cautionary tale. The beauty that once flourished now lay shadowed by regrets of ambition and betrayal. The tales of the fall of Elysia were snuffed from the light, yet they lived on in whispers among the stars, awaiting the next generation to remember the price of desperation and the heavy toll of misguided trust. Thus, the history of Elysia serves as both a lament and a lesson, a testament to the perils that lie in the hearts of those who seek power without wisdom. In the aftermath of the fall of Elysia, where chaos reigned and hope flickered like a dying star, a shadowy faction emerged from the ruins, coupling dark ambition with a twisted reverence for the void. This was the Cult of the Void, a group that sought power through the very forces that had wrought devastation upon their people. The Cult of the Void was born amidst the ashes of a broken society. As Eldar kin turned against each other in a catastrophic civil war, the remnants of Malfarion's prophecies twisted within the minds of the desperate. Those who had once held fast to honour and unity now found, themselves captivated by promises of strength and rebirth through chaos. Fueled by visions of a world remade in their image, a select few began performing dark rituals that beckoned forth the ruinous powers. They believed that by offering their souls as sacrifices, they could attain greater knowledge and influence, even wielding the chaotic energies to heal their shattered realm. The cult's core tenet hinged on the belief that surrendering to chaos could yield untold power and transformation. They preached that weakness, kindness, and compassion were burdens of the past, shackles that had bound the Elder to their ruin. Instead, they embraced nihilism, advocating for strength through destruction, desolation, and ultimate transcendence. Central to cult ideology was the figure of Malfarion, now regarded as a martyr who had glimpsed the true nature of the universe through the chaos that devoured him. They venerated him not as a traitor but as a visionary, convinced that his fate was a path they could follow to unlock unimaginable potential. The cult's structure mirrored the twisted hierarchies seen in the realms of chaos. At its helm were High Seers, individuals who claimed to possess unparalleled psychic abilities. These leaders interpreted the will of the Chaos Gods through dark visions, often filled with horror and promise. They presided over congregations in shadowy sanctuaries hidden deep within the haunted ruins of Elysia. Rituals consisted of elaborate ceremonies held under blood-red moons, involving gestures that blurred the line between life and death. Cultists would gather in circles, chanting incantations that resonated with the fabric of the void. The culmination of each ritual often required a Kasa blood sacrifice, typically drawn from among the few surviving Eldar or bound spirits of their fallen kin. These sacrifices were believed to open gateways to the realms beyond, allowing direct communion with demonic entities. Among the most devoted of the cult were the Void Walkers, fanatical warriors clad in darkened armor, their bodies tattooed with sigils of chaos. These zealots acted as enforcers, seeking out dissenters and harvesting souls to offer to the void. They wielded weapons imbued with dark gifts from the Chaos Gods, capable of tearing through both flesh and spirit. Voidwalkers often engaged in brutal raids against wandering bands of survivors, striking fear into the hearts of all who remembered the pre-war days when kinship and honor were held sacred. They sought to claim the remnants of Elysia for their new paradigm, reinforcing the beliefs of the cult through force and terror. With time, the cult of the Void began to reshape Elysia into a dark reflection of its former self. Their influence permeated the landscape, warping both it and its inhabitants. The once lush gardens now overgrown with twisted and malevolent flora, the echoes of laughter replaced by whispers of despair. The cult's reach extended far beyond the physical realm. Through dark rituals, they forged spectral connections to the ruinous powers, bringing forth demonic entities to aid them in their quest for dominance. These entities, manifestations of raw chaos, acted as terrifying guardians and vengeful forces against any who dared oppose the cult. But ambitions born of despair seldom yield enduring triumphs. As the cult of the Void continued its dark machinations, it attracted the attention of rival factions and other chaos-worshipping groups. Tension simmered as various forces sought to claim Elysia for themselves. In the midst of this tumultuous existence, the true nature of the cult began to unravel. With every act of sacrifice, the demands of the Chaos Gods grew heavier, driving a wedge between the fervent believers. Doubts emerged. Could they truly harness the powers they worshipped? Or had they unwittingly plunged further into their own doom? Thus, the tale of the cult of the Void remains one of irony and impending tragedy, a study in the darkness that rises when hope fades, filled with violence, ambition, and the chilling whisper of chaos echoing through the desolate lands of Elysia.